It's the True Blue Riffcast. I'm your host, Jeremy, and I am joined, as always, by...
I'm Dave, and Jeremy, are you recording?
Yes, I am recording this week, Dave. Actually, let me double check. Yes, I am recording this week, Dave.
Yeah, I just wanted to embarrass you.
Hey, we have to make sure. After last week, we have to make sure.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. So... No niceties this week. Sorry, Dave.
Oh, no.
We're going to get right into our headlines.
Headlines.
First up, bye-bye Drip.
Oh.
That's
so
right.
Sad.
Drip, Kickstarter's attempt at a Patreon-like service is closing down next month for good.
Do we know why?
I have no idea. I remember when RiffTrax started the Drip thing, it was only available to limited creators, and I don't know if they ever actually opened it up to like the public to join in or not. But yeah, I just don't think it ever took off like they expected it to. But no need to worry, because RiffTrax is moving over to Patreon. They're moving all of the RiffTrax content over there.
That's so cool.
So you won't miss anything. And they said they're going to keep it still at the same $3 or $4 a month. So that's not terrible.
No.
My only complaint that I have is for us RiffTrax people who are also Kickstarter backers, which is probably all of the RiffTrax people.
It would have to be.
Yeah, I guess. We will never be getting our complete set of Mike, Kevin, and Bill RiffTrax coins.
Aww.
Because we got Mike last year. This year we're getting Kevin, and yeah, there is no more Drip. So,
well, they might be able to pull it off if they just be like RiffTrax, and if they might be calling it. They might still be calling it RiffTrax at Patreon.
I mean, I guess there's the potential for that, yes, and they could still just make the back of the coin say RiffTrax. I mean, because technically they're not selling them, so I hope so, because I don't want to get a Mike coin and a Kevin coin and then have a Bill coin and have it be something different. Of course, maybe that would be fitting for Bill. So I guess maybe I'm okay with it. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Now that I think about it.
You know, when I first heard that, because I actually missed the email that Eric sent out. And I was like, and I got the email that Drip was shutting down. And I was like, oh, no, Drip is shutting down. What does this mean for RiffTrax? But Eric had already answered all my questions. But I was just like, what does this mean for the video for Mutiny of Love, which is the most amazing thing in the history of the world?
Yeah. You're a little behind the game there, Dave.
Yeah, I sure was. But I'm still the #1 RiffTrax fan, so eat me.
Technically,
no.
I am ranked number one
RiffTrax
on.
Does not get to decide who the #1 fan is. Okay, they don't.
Moving on. Man, we got all kinds of sadness going around. First, Drip closing, and now we've got the potential of Spider-Man no longer being a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, that's well, let's not talk too much about this, but when I heard that news, I actually went back and I listened to the last couple of our podcasts, and we actually brought this up a lot about how it would be incredibly stupid if because I said that I was against the Amazing Spider-Man getting shut down in favor of the MCU Spider-Man.
Yes.
And I said that literally, I think 2 or 3 episodes ago, I said that. But at this point, I think if they did another reboot, if Sony dislodged itself from Disney, from the MCU, that's basically the end of the Spider-Man movies. And no one thinking that would, because it just made $2 billion, and nobody's thinking ever that anybody would be stupid enough to put that in jeopardy. But here we are.
Right. And the details of this, we still don't actually know everything that happened. All we know is a little bit that leaked out from one side and a little bit that leaked out from the other. And apparently, while they were negotiating, Disney said, look, we will front 50% of the production costs, and we want 50% of the profits from the movie. What they are currently getting is 5% for the movie. And so they, you know, of course, they're going to want a little more. This movie just made over $1 billion. And Sony's like, no, this movie just made over $1 billion. We don't need you guys. And
look, okay.
But the reason that the movie made over $1 billion is because of the connection with the MCU. Yeah. Because it's the lead into Phase 4, the Spider-Man Far From Home. And a lot of people were interested to see what the actual aftermath from Endgame was going to be. And
that's why it made $2 billion.
That's a big part of it. And now if this split actually takes, you know, they don't actually renegotiate and reach some form of settlement, or Disney doesn't just go out and buy Sony Pictures, they're going to have to make zero references to anything from the MCU in the next 2 Spider-Man movies that Tom Holland is still contracted for.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think they could do it, but it would just be weird.
It would be very, very weird. But, you know, everybody is talking about it online. Everybody's upset on both sides. And, you know, it would suck. And that's really all I've got to say on the matter. So let's move on to our weekend box office. The number 1 movie in the country, Angel Has Fallen, the 3rd movie in the, I guess, Has Fallen series. I don't know.
I didn't even know that was out.
Apparently it came out this weekend.
Oh, cool. I kind of sort of want to see it because I saw the first one. The first one's great. Second one is terrible. This one, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm really interested in it.
I mean, I don't think very many people were, because it is the number 1 movie of the weekend, but it only made 21 million. This is a very, very slow weekend for the movies. The number 2 movie, Good Boys, only made 11 million. So that's it. I mean, the religious film Overcomer was the number 3 movie of the weekend, barely beating out The Lion King. And then Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw dropped all the way down to 5. And if you scroll all the way down this list and go to number 33, you'll see a little independent film called Avengers Endgame, still alive and kicking in the theaters. 115 screens still running it, made $50,000 again.
$50,000?
$50,000, 50, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, the movie's been out for 2 weeks on Blu-ray and DVD and a month on digital.
$50,000 in theaters.
So, yeah, there we go. There's our weekend box office. Now let's move on to our short reviews of RiffTrax shorts. Yes! Today we are going to be taking a special look at the At Your Fingertips collection. The ACI shorts are a staple in the RiffTrax shorts catalog, and that is mostly because of the assemblage of the At Your Fingertips shorts. The At Your Fingertips series are themed crafting ideas, usually things that can be made with household items such as sugar, empty boxes, and yard clippings. These are
also such as seals.
Yes, such as seals. These are some of the most popular RiffTrax shorts of all time, and there is a good reason for that. Up first is going to be At Your Fingertips Grasses, released July 22nd, 2011. This is probably the most popular of the At Your Fingertips series. The short premiered with RiffTrax Live Reefer Madness. It was also given a studio riff release, and it was a part of RiffTrax Live, the MST3K reunion. So they've gone at this short 3 times now. Because of this short, poor Bill will be eternally haunted by the question, is corn grass? Not because he doesn't know the answer, he definitely does, but because people will never stop asking him. He might even have to say, yes, corn is grass on his tombstone for all the people who will be making the pilgrimage to his grave generations from now.
You want to know what's funny about that? Is what? That in Night of the Living Storybook Volume 2, I actually sent Thumbelina to RiffTrax Live Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny in 2015. This was at the time when storybook chapters were part of the RiffTrax digital goodies.
Uh-huh.
And I actually put Mike, Kevin, and Bill in the storybook chapter. And the little bit I have them doing with actually does have a bit with Bill talking about is corn grass.
If you look at any of the RiffTrax fan groups or pretty much half of anything that RiffTrax tweets out, there's going to be at least 5 people asking if it's grass.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, they will be asking if it's grass. And poor Bill, he actually set up a website. I think it's, what is it? If you go to iscorngrass.com.
.info or something.
Yeah, it's just a big thing saying, yes, corn is grass. And like, yeah. So he's never going to get away from that. Ever.
That's funny.
Ever. The next At Your Fingertips short we're going to be looking at is Boxes.
Woo, Boxes.
This was the second one released, and it's my personal favorite out of the 6. It really confirms the idea of children playing with garbage. Take all the boxes out of your trash and build with them, kids, because your parents won't shell out any money for toys. At least you can make a tunnel out of the boxes, fastened together with pipe cleaners, even though they don't actually show you how to make that. Or you can make a moving company truck to deliver furniture. That was never a part of any of the live shows. I think that's actually the only one that did not have a live show counterpart. This one made its debut during RiffTrax Live Manos, The Hands of Fate. This short shows you how to make totem poles, horses, because as we all know, horses are cylinders, and planetariums. And you also get to see somebody make a flying robot. No, I'm not joking about that. This short was so weird, even the narrator didn't stick around for all of it. At Your Fingertips Cylinders was also a part of Night of the Shorts, San Francisco Sketchfest 2013. The next one, At Your Fingertips Play Clay, released November 21st, 2014. When I learned about the existence of At Your Fingertips Play Clay, it was purely luck. It was part of some children's DVD collection that I found on Amazon. It hadn't been riffed yet, and I'm the impatient type, so I ordered the DVD. I watched the short, and I knew that once RiffTrax got their hands on it, it was going to be a good time. And of course, I was right. In this short, we learn how to make homemade play clay, not Play-Doh, and how to make animals, necklaces, and more animals. And don't forget to cover them in a nice sheen of plastic spray to keep them looking good. Because I'm sure that's nice and healthy for little kids to be playing around with. Up next is At Your Fingertips Sugar and Spice, released October 5th, 2016. What kid wouldn't want to fill half of a small plastic football with sugar, let it dry, and scarf it down? That's the premise of At Your Fingertips Sugar and Spice, which premiered at RiffTrax Live Santa Claus. The spices come into play when you decorate things like your sugar ornaments, snowmen, or spoon birds. And then after everything is made, including a giant baking pan sugar aquarium, it's literally just a big sheet pan full of sugar. It's time to dig in. Yes, they really show the kids eating big old hunks of sugar. Or as Mike says, they're just grabbing a slice of instant diabetes.
Oh, no.
The last one in the series is At Your Fingertips Floats, released October 15th, 2018. This one was shown before The Room. Have you ever wanted to use that styrofoam tray that your meat comes packed with to make arts and crafts?
Sure don't.
And Floats is the short for you. This short will show you just how easy it is to use them to create barely functional boats. This short also shows how to make floating things out of other various styrofoam things, like cups and balls, or milk cartons, paper, and walnuts. Each of the At Your Fingertips shorts are essentials, and they get rated 5 out of 5. Here's my ranking of all 6 of them. Number 1, boxes, grass, sugar and spice, floats, cylinders, and play clay.
Wow, yeah, I think really the only one I ever think about really is corn grass, because really that's for the exact reason you said before, because it's like it's corn grass. It's just as that iconic RiffTrax bit of RiffTrax is corn grass.
Yeah, there's not anything else like that stuck out to me anyway from any of the other At Your Fingertips shorts. Just overall, I think I enjoy the boxes one the best. That was actually, I think that was the very first RiffTrax short that I watched too. No, the first one I watched was What Is Nothing because it was with the Jack and the Giant,
Jack the Giant Killer. Yeah.
But the first one that I bought was boxes. So now we're going to go on from the shorts to the not so shorts. Dave, what are we going to look at today?
Well, it depends on. We can either talk about. We're talking about 2 full-length riffs, like always. We're going to talk about the winner of our listener poll, which surprised me. We're going to talk about Carnival of Souls, and we're going to talk about the new release, the Just the Jokes, or if you're what Bill calls the Ancients of the Ancients, the blockbuster or MP3 riff of Street Fighter.
I think we should maybe switch it up this week. Let's start with Carnival of Souls.
Okay, let's start with Carnival of Souls. How many times have you seen Carnival of Souls in your life?
Once.
With or without the RiffTrax? I mean, of course, with the RiffTrax.
With the RiffTrax. I've never seen it. I've never watched it unriffed, and I never will.
Really? I've never watched it unriffed either, because it's... apparently, this thing has a legacy. It's like, in 2012, the Academy Film Archive restored Carnival of Souls. The film has been named as a precursor to the works of various filmmakers, including David Lynch, George Romero, Lucaria Martel, I don't even know who that is, and James Wan. But it's, you hear about Carnival of Souls, and it has this amazing reputation of being like this, a forerunner of whatever the hell, right? You know what I'm saying? But but you watch it and you're like, that was a piece of crap.
Yeah, it's not. I don't understand why people feel this way about this movie at all.
So I've seen the movie a few times because I watched the original 3-riffer edition, which was released in early 2009. We talked about the sort of precursor to the VOD era at length last week when we talked about Little Shop of Horrors. So we're not going to cover that again. If you want to listen to that conversation, go back and listen to last week's episode. We cover it extensively. This is one of those. This is it came out with not Plan 9, but it came out with Little Shop. It came out with House on Haunted Hill. It came out with Reefer Madness. There's a whole bunch of public domain classic things. Basically, what happens is that it starts out in Lawrence, Kansas, and it starts off with these 2 cars full of idiot juvenile delinquents doing a drag race for some reason, and the cars end up going over a bridge and into, I think it was just the girl's car that went over the bridge and into a river, and Mary, she survives. Spoiler alert, she didn't really. I guess she's a ghost the whole time. She's like Bruce Willis, only not. So then she plays on the organ for about an hour and a half, moves to Utah, gets entranced by the salt air. Now, let me tell you something about the salt air, okay? That blight, that disgusting, horrible piece of crap Now, the Saltaire is this building that's on I-80 that's just past Salt Lake City. I don't know, because it's past Salt Lake City. So she would have had to have completely missed the city altogether to get to it if she's driving from Kansas. So she's kind of an idiot because it's over, it's almost in Tooele County. I know local stuff, but it's just such an ugly blight. It's just like every time I have to drive by it and look at it, my gosh, it's so. Why do we tear that thing down? It's so stupid.
So you've never been entranced by it?
No, I want it to go away. I want it to die. It's like the ugliest building in I don't want to say all of the state, but it's definitely the ugliest famous building in the state. Nobody I've ever talked to has had a nice thing to say about it. I don't even know why they keep it up. But anyway, she lodges a room, and I guess she starts seeing ghosts. And then she meets a guy who is super rapey. And is literally trying to like trucker's woman himself into her apartment.
He wants to become better acquainted.
Yeah, but she then amazingly relents to go on to a date with this dude. And I guess she's falling in love. Like, she fell in love with him. Events of her falling in love with him not pictured, because at first she's like just completely repulsed by him, and then like it completely changes without any explanation, right? And then he gets all pissy that she's being a weirdo, right? And then she gets fired I don't remember why. She gets fired from being an organist at a not Mormon church in Salt Lake City.
I think it's because she like declines to go like meet the congregation or whatever. I know the minister gets all mad about that.
That's
stupid. Probably what it is.
But it's and then she'd be like, "Well, you're fired from your job, but you're like not fired from God or something." And like he wants to help her. It's like, okay, firing me is not helping. That's not what helping is.
Oh, it's the other organ music. He says it's sacrilege, and he insists upon her resignation.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Who wrote this? Did the director write this? Probably. Yeah.
Yes, it was written, produced, and directed by her
Kirby.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then she goes and she falls asleep while getting an oil change, which is so weird I can't even begin to describe it. Then she goes out to the salt air and she runs around, gets chased by these zombies. They all like try to pet her. And then it cuts back to Lawrence, Kansas, where they finally, after like weeks and weeks, are able to pull the car with the bodies of her friends out of the car, and she's in the car.
Oh,
and it's like,
no!
Effing what? Like, that makes no sense.
I guess she is dead.
Was she a ghost?
But how did she get to Utah?
I don't know.
Was it a dream? Did it really happen at all?
So anyway, this is what Wikipedia says. The following day, Samuels, the minister, and police go to the pavilion to look for Mary. They find her footprints in the sand, and they end abruptly. Back in Kansas, her car is pulled from the river. Mary's body is in the front seat alongside the other two women.
Oh, okay. So it did supposedly happen. That's dumb. Can we talk about the real star of this movie, Dave?
Who's the real star of the movie?
The real star of this movie is the god-awful organ music.
Oh, okay. You know what? I figured it out right as you were saying it, too. Wow, it's like the acoustic guitar noodling in Roller Gator.
I think I would maybe...
I think it's worse, honestly.
Yeah, same. I think it's actually worse than the incessant guitar noodling in Roller Gator.
The legendary, charming, wonderful, we can't live without it guitar noodling in Roller Gator. Opposed to in the Three Riffer edition. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. One of my favorite sequences in the Three Riffer is like when they are all making fun of at the very beginning, right before she goes to Utah, which is where I live. Everybody, me, Dave, aka Sugar Ray Dolls. I live in Utah. I just want everybody to know that. There's a long sequence of everybody like coming out and looking at her while she's playing the organ, and Mike, Kevin, and Bill are just like, I have to go break that organ into thousands of splinters. I'll be right back, right? And they're all like, boo, why do you hate us? You suck. And then the minister, the first minister, the one in Kansas, comes out and says, I oversaw the installation of this organ myself. And then Bill goes, you bastard!
They consider the organ to be one of the spectral presences in the movie, summoning up or being summoned up by the various allusions in the film to cinema's past. whatever the
Cinema's past the
hell
what? The
that
Ghost and
means.
Mr. Chicken. I mean, like, what was this crap pile of a movie that isn't scary and just annoying? When was it released? 1962.
Yeah, 62.
I'm trying to think that maybe they mean Phantom of the Opera.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, me too.
This is one of those things that baffles me as to why so many people like this movie as much as they do. When they announced that they were going to be doing this for a live show, they were getting all these tweets about how dare they do this movie because it's a classic, and like Connor.
Let me tell you something. Starship Troopers is considered a classic, okay? So, I mean, let's get real here.
Starship Troopers is a crap pile.
No, Starship Troopers is a brilliant masterpiece of cinematic satire, Jeremy, and it's everything in it is brilliant. How dare you?
Screw you, Dave.
I hate Starship Troopers.
Yes, we both really dislike that movie. Outside of the fact that it's terrible and there's an excellent riff of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just Carnival of Souls is, it's really dumb, guys.
Yeah, I mean it's a good griff. I mean we all like waffles, etc. Yeah, but I mean the movie, dude, it's a bad movie. It's like Endgame. A lot of people like it, and I don't know why. Oh, everybody's gonna hate me.
As if they don't already, Dave.
I know, right?
I think that's about all we have for Carnival.
Yeah, that's all we have to say about Carnival of Souls. So, in the poll, what do we have? What do we have left? We have
the Last Slumber Party and the Apple carrying over.
Okay, and can we put Crater Lake Monster in there?
Yes, we can put Crater Lake Monster in as our third choice. So, coming this week, the listener poll will be Last Slumber Party, The Apple, and Crater Lake Monster.
I got lots of things to say about Crater Lake. I got lots of things to say about all three of those. Those three are amazing.
Speaking of The Apple, we're gonna talk about the newest RiffTrax release, the Just the Jokes of Street Fighter, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Ming-Na Wen, and I think there might be somebody else that was actually a pretty good actor before they put him in here, which was basically his last movie. Raul Julia, of course. Gomez Adams.
Obviously, his most famous role is Aram Finkel in Overdrawn at the Memory Bank.
No, but that does get brought up in this riff. We'll get to
as
that.
Do a lot of there's a lot of other stuff,
like The Apple, which was
they did do a Bim's on the Way thing.
Yes,
that was so great.
There's so many callbacks in this riff. But we'll get to those in a minute. First, let's talk about this movie a little bit.
Okay, can I start off by saying that, for the record, I legit, no fooling, honestly love this movie. Unironic. What? I think it's a great comedy. I love it. I mean, I don't even mean that in like a Starship Troopers kind of way either. I honestly really do love this movie. I enjoy it on a lot of levels.
It's not as bad as, say, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Nothing's as bad as Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You just literally just compared it to my least favorite movie of all time. I literally down at the bottom. Like I despise Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a high bar that it's got to cross to be considered an enjoyable video game movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's better than Super Mario Brothers.
Oh yes, definitely better than Super Mario Brothers. It's better than Doom. It's better than House of the Dead. It's better than Blood Rain. There's
better than any Resident Evil movie.
Yeah, those are all crap too. But yeah, we've got Jean-Claude Van Damme as the American soldier Guile with the American flag tattooed on his arm.
I love it.
Ken and Ryu as arms dealers.
I don't
Fake
know what
arms
their
dealers?
deal is, honestly. It makes no sense.
I think maybe they were just con men.
I think so too, which I can hey, I can get behind it.
We have the best movie version of Chun-Li as a reporter, played by Ming-Na Wen.
Dude, she's great.
So much better than the other Street Fighter Chun-Li movie that we're not going to get into. We have it's way worse than this one. We have Honda, the sumo wrestler, as her camera guy.
Yeah.
We have Balrog, the boxer dude, who is in the movie as like somebody else for the TV station. I don't really know what
he's kind of there, yeah.
Maybe he was the engineer or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've got Vega showing up. We've got Sagat is an arms dealer in this one.
I think the casting for Sagat. I honestly feel like Sagat and Vega in this movie were actually done pretty well. I like them.
Sagat, his actor was really good. I was kind of surprised. We have a really weird version of Dalsim in this movie. He's just like a scientist guy.
Yeah, he does. His arms don't he's not made of plastic or nothing.
Yeah, and he's got a full head of hair and everything. Well, up until the end of the movie when all of his hair is mysteriously gone.
Charlie,
yes.
I'm coming to get you.
Charlie.
And
then we have, of course, Charlie, whatever you want to call him, turned Blanca or Bozo Hulk, as he looks like in the movie. We also have a really weird version of T-Hawk as just one of the soldiers that is running around with Guile, and you're not really sure who he's supposed to be until towards the end of the movie when he puts that headband on.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, this other guy, running around with Kylie Minogue, and
the cannon.
Can we talk about Cammy and her combat Heidi plates and her combat pencil skirt?
Yeah, that was
that's great.
That was definitely something. But I don't know. Most of the cast, I mean, they cast him well for the movie.
I think we have to give props to. I mean, I know he didn't get much screen time, but when he did, he murdered it. Was the guy who played Zangief? Oh
yes, he was the best comic relief in the whole movie. Like everything he said was funny, pretty much.
Everything is great.
It was chef kiss. Just a side note, he also played Leatherface in the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh.
Which I thought was kind of interesting to learn. But yeah, I really liked his character in this movie. The part where they turn on the little TV in the closet and it's Chun-Li and she's showing the truck full of explosives going towards all the weapons, and he just yells out, "Quick, change the channel!"
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, but this movie, it's if you're going into it looking for a serious Street Fighter movie,
don't do that.
This isn't it. This isn't it.
Look, this movie, you guys who listen to this podcast know me as kind of a goofy fellow with a very strange sense of humor and a strange personality. Am I correct?
Yes, I would agree with that, definitely.
Yes. This movie hits every part of my wheelhouse. Everything about it is just dude, I just love this movie unironically so much. So, I mean, to understand Street Fighter is to understand yours truly. So just think of it as you're watching a movie of me. and it'll all become clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's one way to explain it.
Yeah. Jeremy's over there like, oh my gosh, this guy is crazy.
What have I gotten myself into? Yeah, so let's talk about some of these riffs, Dave, because there were so many callbacks in this movie, and we were just talking about that last week. In fact, we were just talking about one specifically that they used within the first 5 minutes of this film.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. We were talking about this is this is a term we're going to use to refer to ourselves now, the ancients of the ancients, as Bill Corbett refers to us on RiffTrax. In the last step, we're talking about Spider-Man, Macho Man Randy Savage, Bonesaw. You've got 3 minutes, and I think that was the first callback they did in this entire riff.
Yeah, as far as I remember, that would be accurate. But it was when they took one of their prisoners to fight M. Bison, and he just ran over and snapped his neck, and that was about it. We also got a reference to Over the Top.
Like, how many eliminations is it?
The famous double elimination tournament Over the Top. We get a callback to the guy from Harlem.
Yep.
When they're I can't remember. They were the Allied forces. They weren't the Allied nations, because it wasn't the UN. It was the AN. And they were in their meeting, and this little waiter guy comes in, this Asian waiter guy, and he's giving everybody water. And all of a sudden, he jumps up on the table with a knife, and he charges at Guile. Mm-hmm. And he, gets spin kicked and flipped around. And we get the joke about J&B Scotch and well done steaks.
Yep.
I gotta throw this out here. Whoever it was that wrote the joke that reminded me of Emeril Lagasse's sitcom can go straight to hell.
I don't even know what Emeril Lagasse's sitcom is. So
you remember Emeril Lagasse, right? The chef. I'm gonna kick it up a notch. Bam.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, Elzar. Okay.
Yeah, Elzar. Yeah.
Okay.
He had a sitcom.
Yeah. Really?
And you can guess how good that was.
I bet it was terrible.
And I literally had pushed all memory of this out of my brain until I heard that riff, and then it all came flooding back. So thanks, whoever it was. Connor, probably.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's either...
Or Sean.
Connor
or
Sean. Two. Only they would bring that up. Mike wouldn't bring that up, because I don't think Mike cares about that kind of thing.
I think my favorite riff in the entire thing, the Guile says the line, "Hey, you were almost useful there for a minute," followed up by Mike saying, "I try to tell my children that at least once a day."
There's an Apple reference, like they say Bim's on the way.
Yeah.
At some point. I can't remember where.
That they're all Bison is marching through, and all the soldiers are saluting him, and instead of, "Hey Bison," they're saying, hey, Bim's on the way. This was such a fun riff, though. Like, honestly, Dave, I don't know if you saw my tweet earlier today, but so far, Street Fighter is a serious contender for riff of the year for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like, I absolutely loved this riff so much.
I'll vote for it. I mean, I can't think of anything up to now that can really beat it. I like Zombie, aka I Eat Your Skin.
Yeah. This one surpasses that for me.
I like what else? I like Rats. I like, there's a lot of stuff this year that I like. What was the one that recently? Oh yeah, Kill or Be Killed. It was excellent. But this was definitely an A. This is definitely an A. But the year's not over, so
right.
We'll see.
We still have a couple more months, and the promise of something worse than Roller Gator looms on the horizon.
Are you serious? When did they say that?
They said that back in June.
Oh.
Where somebody said that they were talking about Roller Gator. They tweeted something about it, and somebody responded with, "They can't watch it because it is the bane of their existence." And they responded with, "The bane of your existence so far, hashtag coming later this year."
Oh, come on. Give me a break. I don't think that. I think that's hyperbole. Come on. Wait, think about what you're saying. Worse than Roller Gator.
Yeah, something that will be harder to watch than Roller Gator.
Number one, I don't think. Okay, look, guys. Okay, real talk. As much as I like Roller Gator, I know that it's a pile of crap movie. I know it. That's why I love it. Okay, it's a movie with no professional lighting, no professional sound,
no professional anything except for Joe Estevez.
Yeah, it was literally shot. And look, until somebody can prove me wrong, okay, I'm going to continue to believe that it was shot on a VHS camcorder. Okay? You can't convince me that it wasn't.
Right.
I don't see how you can get worse than Roller Gator.
Unless it's a baby ghost.
Baby ghost. Baby ghost. Google it.
Which,
okay.
It's by the same director, also has Joe Estevez in it, and yeah, it's a thing.
Yep.
I mean, I honestly have no guesses as to what they could be releasing that they think is more of a bane to existence in general than Roller Gator.
I don't. Yeah,
it scares me a little bit. I'm super excited about it.
Well, unless it's something like Fun in Balloon Land, where it's just like parade footage, or if it's what's that movie that we saw earlier this year? Something like Extra.
Yeah.
And like unless it's that, then like I can Google Extra XTRO.
Not that we actually have any say in this, you know.
No, we sure don't. We were gonna go through. I totally forgot. We were gonna go through the thread in True Blue and tally up who got all the most votes for live shows next year.
Oh, well, let's I guess we can do that next week.
Yeah, let's do that next week.
Because that's going to do it for us this week. I am Jeremy. You can find me at pbandawesome.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at pbandawesome. If you want to send me an email, you can do that, Jeremy at trueblueriffcast.com. And you can follow the podcast on Twitter at tbriffcast.
And I'm Dave Chadwick. You can check me out on the web at sugarraydodge.com. Send me emails at dave@trueblueriffcast.com. I wrestle locally here as Charlie B. Look for me as Charlie B on Facebook. Search for Sugar Ray Dodge on Facebook. My graphic design services will come up. And yeah, that's all I got too.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week on the True Blue Riffcast.
See ya.